Hello, entrepreneurs. I have created this very exciting and educative course for you. I understand that many entrepreneurs are in a dilemma of starting their business, getting it off the ground, understanding what should be here and what should be there. In this course, I am going to take you through the essential things on making a business plan. It's very insightful. My name is Allwell Ihejirika, and I have worked with commercial banking, and I am now currently working in consulting. Throughout my career, I have been in the lending side and I have been in the asking side, asking investors for their money or through a bank giving money to businesses. I know what tick. I know what investors are looking for. And in this course, I am going to create a business plan. It is very long. It is a long course. However, you should stick to the end because making money is a long process and you need to stick through the entire process. Stay with me, and if you have not already, do to subscribe to this channel by clicking the subscribe button. Thank you very much and stay true from the beginning of the course to the end of the course. Also, I want to add, I have put a link to my Upwork account where you can go there and see business plans I have done in the past and pitch deck I have done in the past. You can use that as an example for you to build your own. I believe you can. I believe you can make businesses grow. I'm also an entrepreneur, so I have literally been on almost all sides of the game. Subscribe to this channel and stick through to the end. I've also put a link to the slides from this course on in the link below. Just go there, download it, and go through it even in your own spare time. Thank you very much. Do it, subscribe again. Okay, welcome to the channel, everybody. I said earlier, this is writing an investor worthy business plan. So let us get right down to it. Now, who am I? My name is Ihejirika. I am an entrepreneur, a business consultant, and a finance expert. I have written tens of business plans that have attracted millions of dollars in debt and equity funding in several industries. And I have an executive MBA. I have the FMBA, that's Financial Modeling and Valuation Analyst. I have the CBCA and FPW, all from Corporate Finance Institute. And I'm currently studying to become a chartered stockbroker, among a couple of other things. So if you've not already, do well to subscribe to my channel. It will really help my channel to grow. And I mean, I'm adding value to you, so please just repay me and subscribe. Like, just subscribe as a form of repayment. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Okay. All right. So now, why do people write business plans? Why do people write business plans? So normally people write business plans for either of these reasons. There could be more, but I mean, either of these reasons we do. Either for business strategy and strategy purpose, or to attract equity funding, or to attract debt funding. Those are some of the reasons people write business plans, right? Now, here are some of the outlines that we're going to be using. Drafting the perfect table of contents to guide your work. I believe that before writing a business plan, you should have a table of contents, more like a mind map. By the way, I actually do intend creating a course on mind mapping so that it can also be beneficial to you. So people also write, many people also writing the body of the business plan to tell investors that they should know about your business. So we're going to go from the table of contents to the body, and then we're going to financial projection metrics and executive summary. Normally, executive summary is usually the last thing people write. Now, what is usually in an executive summary, or what is usually in the table of contents? So all the things that should be in the table of contents are executive summary, the business description, the market research and analysis, products and services, marketing and sales strategy, management and operations, financial highlights. Now, these are key things that should be in your business plan because you are trying to sell your company to somebody for the person to either give you money or to understand that this strategy is going to work. So you have to be able to get everything together in the executive summary, and then you have to be able to properly describe your business, your products, and all those things. Then you have to be able to tell that you understand your market and show that the market is good for you to get into it, right? Then you also have to talk about your products and services. If possible, how do you make your products and services, that kind of thing. then marketing and sales strategy. So now marketing is different from sales. Marketing is you letting people know what you do or what you produce. Sales is you telling the investors how you're going to close the deal, how you're going to get the money in the account. That's the sales. And then there's the financial highlights to tell them that this is profitable. Please be true in your financial highlights. All right, so let's go to learning outcome. At the end of this lesson, I want you to be able to confidently plan, create, realize, deliver outstanding business plans. Know exactly what investors are looking for in your business plan because your business plan uh, needs to have a purpose, right? Now, for the executive summary, let's start by exploring the different sections of the executive summary, and here are some of them. There's the business overview, highlight of the market attractiveness, the industry analysis and attractiveness, there's the target segment benefit and attractiveness, there's about the business, and then there's the investment appraisal and financial highlights. Now, these are summary of what you've done in your business plan. For this kind of business plan, I'm talking about business plan that are up to 50 to 70, 80 pages. So yes, it's a deep dive kind of business plan, right? Something that you need to actually spend your time doing. That's why this course is long. And these slides are about 55 to 60 pages because I come down to explain everything one by one. So you have to stick true to the course, right? So that we can get good things done. All right, let's go over to the next one. Now, for business overview, this is a deep dive into exactly what your company does. There's the company overview, there's the business rationale, there's the business overview, there's the business value proposition, there's a product description, and then there's the business legal structure. So these are like the sub table of content for business overview, right? That you can adopt in your own business plan. You can add more if you wish. Then now for the company overview, let's go over all of them one by one. And for company overview, here you have to provide a concise snapshot of the company's identity, purpose, and background. How did this company come about? What is the company about? What's the purpose of the company? What do you want to do with this company? Basically, that's what you're saying here. The goal is to give the audience a clear understanding of your company's identity, scope, and market it operates in. So you're basically telling the investors the company name, the industry you're operating in, the scope of the work the company is going to be doing, and the market you're going into. Pardon me. Here you're supposed to talk about things like who we are, your mission and your vision, and then the history. How did this company even come about? Is it born out of a place of need, out of a place of pain? Talk about it here. Be very expressive, right? But be professional as well. I mean, be expressive, professional. Yeah. Now there's the business rationale. Now you also explain the reasoning behind the business, and this is supposed to address things like market need, solutions, and unique advantage, right? Now your market need is supposed to explain exactly the opportunities that are in the market. Meaning, for you to create a personally, I I have gotten my fingers burnt in this entrepreneurship game, and I have come to realize that if you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to, in a way, be sure that there's already a demand before you create a supply. So that the moment you're producing, or the moment you're bringing out your services, people are buying, right? So there have to be a market need, and then you have to give the solution. You have to summarize the solution that you are preferring. Then what is your unique advantage? Is your unique advantage in price? Is your unique advantage in delivery service, in speed, or is it in technology? So you have to talk about your unique advantage. Or is it in experience of the people that are in the company? Talk about unique advantages here. Now, the goal of this is to help the audience understand why the business was started and the potential impact it aims to create. Right? Let's go to slide 11. Business overview. Here you're supposed to provide an outline of your core business activities, which includes the key activities, target audience, and market positioning. You see how I keep iterating market, because a business is there if you make sales and if there's a market to even buy. If you have a product you don't have sales, you really don't have a business. You just have, I don't know what you have, but you don't have a business. So now the key activities are like the main product, the services, the processes central to the business. The target audience are where you define who your customer and your clients are. You describe the niche and segments. That's for market positioning. Describe the niche and segments.
where your business competes. And then the goal is to offer a high value understanding of how the business operates. Now let's go over to the next subtopic, business value propositions. Now, all these subtopics, you should understand that, yeah, they're subtopics, but you should expand on them in your business plan. So I'm trying to explain how they should work, right? As I said before, this is going to be a long course and it might be boring to you. However, please stick to the end. It's really, really, really insightful. Please stick through to the end. Now, your business overview should provide an outline of the core, business value proposition. Your business value proposition highlights the unique value your business offers, which covers the values to the customers, your competitive advantage, and the key benefits outlined. So, this business value proposition, there's some other ones where you have to, some business value proposition, you have to also talk about the value to the stakeholders, to the investors, to your staff, to the employees, so you can fully expand on all of the value the business is giving, both to the customers and to every other person, all stakeholders involved, which are shareholders, directors, non-executive directors, even the community where the business will be. Exactly. So you also need to emphasize about your competitive advantage. Very, very important. And then the value you are offering to customers. Why will customers choose you over every other person that has been in the game before you? Now, the goal of this is to communicate why customers would choose your business over others as a lasting impact of your offering. And there's the product description. Here you have to describe the overview of your product and services. You have to explicitly explain what the main product and service is, the features of and benefits of that product, and then the target users of the product. Your goal here is to familiarize the audience with your product, service, and how they meet your customers' need. So it has to be exactly pinpoint to what the product is, what the service is, what customers benefit, the features, and how customers are supposed to use it. Like it's supposed to explain exactly what the product is, what the service is. So if it's a service, pardon me, the service also explain how the service is going to be executed, right? Exactly. Now for business legal structure, here you need to outline the legal framework of the business. You have to explain the entity type. You have to explain the ownership, who has what, who are in the management. Not who are in the management team. We'll come back to that later. And brief explanation of the ownership stake and management team structure. And they have to explain the licenses, registrations, and maybe if they are trademarks you need to explain it here. Every single compliance I need to do for legal compliance, you need to put it here. The goal is to inform the audience of the business legal setup, providing transparency about its governance and legal responsibilities. Now, the next outline is market research analysis. Here, we're talking about both the local market and international market. Okay, so let us go ahead and continue. Please, if you have not already subscribed so far, click that subscription button right now. Let me wait for you. Click it. Have you clicked it? Did you click it? Say the truth. Did you click it? If you don't click it, just click. Please, it's me that is begging you. Click it. All right, thank you. Now let's continue. All right, market research and analysis. Remember to click the subscribe button. Now, market research and analysis. So the purpose of this is to communicate effectively to the investors or experts that you know the market you are playing in, how to navigate it and become successful in it. So you have to let them believe that you know your market properly. Every analysis, every see in this market research analysis, you have to also put the negativities that are going to be against you in your market research analysis. Yes. If there are insecurity issues, put them there. If there are political issues, put them there. Every single thing, put them there. Be very truthful, please. And then you can also put how to mitigate those risks later on. But then you need to let the people know that you know everything about this market. Now, the topics for this market research analysis, there's a macroeconomic snapshot of the country, that's the or your region, the place you are in operating out of. There's a persistent analysis, there's a global analysis of the industry of the business, there's a local and regional analysis of the business. Then there is the Michael Porter's 5 competitive forces that shape business. There's the John Miller 7 domain market and industry analysis, there's the competitor analysis, there's the SWOT analysis, and then there's the key industry challenge and risk. I'm going to explain these things later on. Some of them look like theory, some of them look like garbage, but they are actually very effective tools in business administration and business management, provided you tailor them to your business plan. Let's carry on. All right, macro snapshot of your country or the region you are operating out of. This slide provide a broad overview of the economic environment in your country, highlights key indicators that impact the business landscape. Now, you should talk about the GDP, you should talk about the growth rate, you should talk about the inflation trends, you should talk about the employment statistics of the country or the region you're talking about. Basically, talk about the economic health of where you are. If it is bad, I mean, say it is bad. If it is good, say it is good. So, you should also talk about the factors like consumer spending, foreign exchange rates, investor inflow that reflects economic stability, interest rates. You should also conclude with a brief mention of how the elements affect your business prospects, demonstrating on understanding the macroeconomic content. Now, for a country like Nigeria, where I am from and where I'm making this video out of, we have a fish rating of B minus, which means our economy is not so strong. Our interest rate is double digits; it's on the high side, and the businesses are currently looking for other lending sources. So these are also factors that I will mention in the business plan if I'm writing out for Nigeria. If I'm writing a business plan for a company in the US, I have to look at the US economy, their consumer spending, inflation rate, and all those many other things like that. Especially even in the region, particularly even in the states the person is operating out of, because in a place like in the US where they have state laws, you know that every state have like its own economy, basically. Yeah. So now let's look at personal analysis. Personal analysis delves into political, economic, social, technological, legal, and environmental factors affecting the business. In the political context, touch on government stability, policies, and regulatory framework relevant to the industry. You should actually cite those policies and regulatory framework. You should cite them. If there are incentives the government gives for that particular industry, you're going to talk about them. If the government have experienced challenges, also talk about them. For economic factor, cover the market growth, interest rates, and economic cycle that could affect the operations of the business. Social trends such as demographics and consumer behavior provide insight into market demand. Talk about them as well. Technological advancements, particularly those driving innovation in your sector, should also be addressed. Additionally, legal compliance, industry regulation, and environmental concerns round out a comprehensive view of the external influence of the business. Let's go over to the next one. There's the global analysis of the industry of the business. Now, in this slide, we explore the global analysis of the and landscape, assessing overall growth trend, major players, and regional performance variations. Now, you should also talk about global demand for your product or your service. If you are looking at exporting your product or your service to another country for maybe FX gain or to increase your reach or to also woo the investors even more. Discuss global demands and supply dynamics, including factors such as technological advancements, regulatory development, and international trade policies. Identify leading companies in the industry and highlight significant innovations or emerging trends shaping global markets direction. Lastly, summarize how global factors influence local market potential, preparing the audience to understand the broader context in which the business operates, right? So you should own what you are doing. You should let them know that you understand what you are doing, right? Okay, even down to the global landscape of what you're doing. Now, down to the next one, we have the local regional analysis of the industry. Here your focus should be on the industry's performance at the local or regional level, provide insights into market size, growth potentials, and competitive landscape. Describe consumer demand trends, regional pricing, and distribution network, as well as any regional challenge like infrastructure or regulatory limitations. Infrastructure can also be roads, electricity, etc., etc., etc. Mention them. Mention the key players and their market share and outline the specific opportunities and threats in the region. The goal is to establish the business's position within the local industry, underscoring factors that could drive or hinder its success. Let's go over to Michael Porter's five competitive forces that shape strategy. Now, Michael Porter's five forces is usually for strategy creation, and then using Michael Porter's framework, analyze the competitive forces impacting your business strategy. Begin with threats of new entrants, discussing potential barrier to entry and how they affect competition. Now, threat to new entrants, for instance, if your business includes something that you've patented, you know that the threat to new entrants for that is very low. Or if it's something that has high capital requirements, you know that the threat to new entrants there will also be low because not many people have the capital to enter that kind of business. But if something that is easily replicable, then you should also state that. I mean, although it's a disadvantage, but you should also state that. Examine the bargaining power of suppliers and buyers, considering the influence on pricing and quality, the threat of substitute assessment, alternative products or services that could disrupt market demand. Lastly, evaluate the industry rivalry, identifying the intensity of competition and strategies competitors use. You should also look at your competitors and see what they use, how you can adopt that, and what mix you're going to do basically. This analysis provides a structured approach to understanding market dynamics and strategic positioning. Market Porter's five forces, as I said earlier, is actually very important because it helps you to understand what the business outlook and the entrance suppliers and everything, and then you have to now create strategies around that to make sure that you are positioned for greatness and you're positioned for success. Let's go over to John Millen's seven domain for market industry and industry analysis. Mullen's seven domain model offers a comprehensive approach to evaluating market and industry viability. Begin with the macro level markets and industry factors. Examine industry attractiveness and market demand. At the micro level, assess the specific need of the business addresses, and competitive positioning within a defined niche. Lastly, consider the team's capability and the organization's readiness to meet strategic goals by evaluating both internal and external factors and analyze. This analysis helps validate business potential for long-term success. Right? Now, you see how we've talked about some of them that talk about the external factors, internal factors strategy. But I was only talking about long-term factors because you have to market demand, you have to examine the industry in and out, the macro level, the micro level, etc. Let's go back to the next slide. Competitors analysis. Here you need to examine the strength and weakness of key players in the industry. Examine them, know what they are doing, know how they do it, and know how best you can mix that for your own advantage. It is very important you understand these things and then you know them and put them in your business plan. He identified major competitors, focusing on their market share, product offering, pricing, and marketing strategies. I usually prefer doing a global competitor analysis and a local competitor analysis, so I understand who I'm playing with in the on the global scale and who I am playing with on the local scale. So consider how these companies are positioned in terms of customer perception, operational efficiency, and innovation. Analyze areas where competitors may have an advantage and where they may be vulnerable. The assessment provides insight into competitive advantage your business can leverage and areas where it can improve to stand out, right? So all of that competitive advantage, you should know which one you are copying, which one you are improving on. Of course, there's always room for improvement, basically, hopefully, and then which one you are changing because your competitor may not be 100% good in everything that they are doing. So you should know where to come in, how to take advantage of the markets, basically. Now there is the SWOT analysis. So many people know the SWOT analysis, but not so many people know how to make SWOT analysis a strategy tool, right? SWOT analysis actually is supposed to be a strategy tool. A SWOT analysis provides a structured overview of the business's internal strengths and weaknesses, as well as external opportunities and threats. Because SWOT analysis examines the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, you need to know where the strengths are and how to amplify them, how to make them better. The weaknesses, how to make the weaknesses become strengths. Like what factors do you need to put in? What do you need to bring in? Do you need extra cash? Or do you need extra experience? Or do you need extra production capabilities? Or do you need government policies to okay, government policies is straight because it's external. Then now there's the external opportunities and threats. Opportunities like how can you expand? What is there? outside just what you are doing right now, basically those opportunities. And then threats are things that are beyond your control. So how do you mitigate those things, right? Now, highlights core competencies such as skilled team or strong brand presence that gives the business an advantage. Acknowledge any limitations or challenges that may hinder performance in terms of opportunities, explore market trends or new customer segments that the business can capitalize on. Finally, identify external threats, including economic shift and new competitors, which could impact future growth. This analysis serves as a foundation for strategic planning, focusing on areas to build or address. Man, this course is actually long. Even myself, I'm feeling it. All right, so let's go to key industry challenges and risk. Key industry challenges and risk. Here we are looking at the challenges and risk facing the industry and implication for these businesses. This business. So we have to now come up with common challenges that may include volatility, regulatory constraint, technology disruption, and intense competition. Assess risk related to supply chain instability, changing customer preference, and potential regulatory changes. Acknowledge these risks, and if possible, briefly mention mitigation strategies to show preparedness. Please, sorry, don't just briefly explain the mitigating factors. Like, how do you want to mitigate those things? If possible, step by step. Understanding the plan for these challenges demonstrates the business's resilience and strategic foresight. All right, now for the next outline, we have the value chain analysis. Value chain analysis is a process that helps companies identify and evaluate the activities that create a product or service. Here is your value chain model. Here's the value chain model. Okay, now so all of these categories are subdivided into like primary activities, secondary activities, right? Now, primary activities are activities that concern the business directly. Secondary activities that don't really concern the business directly, right? However, you should further explain each category of the value chain to explain in simple terms how you intend optimizing operations to save costs or improve profit. Now, value chain analysis is basically supposed to be explaining how from production to sale to marketing to inbound logistics, from inbound logistics to production to marketing to sales to outbound logistics, that's delivering this thing you want to deliver to the customer, and then further service or support that you're going to be giving to them after sales, like after sales support. Those are primary activities that concern the business itself. Now, other activities that concern the business, but they are sort of secondary, are called secondary activities, because it is good the business have them, but the business can survive without them. For instance, HR. Yeah. To all HR people out there, I'm very sorry, but it's the truth. HR. Procurement. You can always outsource procurement. You can always outsource technology development. You can always outsource firm infrastructure. However, there are some things you cannot necessarily outsource, right? Like production and sales and all. So many other things. It's possible to outsource them these days, but it's better you handle them yourself to optimize efficiency, right? And to reduce cost. Now, the next business outline is marketing and sales strategy. I like this place because this is where you tell people that I can make money. All right, so let's go over to marketing and sales strategy. Now, marketing strategy explains the marketing aimed to attract and retain customers by promoting products and services. You have to talk about your market research. You have to talk about your target audience. You have to talk about your channels. What channels are you using to sell or are you using to deliver your marketing campaign or your marketing ads to people? Is it through social media? Is it through direct marketing? Are you going to knock on the door? Are you going to use emails? Explain everything. Everything. And then there's customer engagement. So you need to also explain how you're going to engage customers and make them feel a vibe in your products. Now there's the branding strategy. Now I need to explain something about branding. Branding is not your logo, your color. Branding is the perception of customers about your business, right? So what perception does your customers have about your business or about your product or about your service? That's your brand. That's your brand image. Now there's the brand value that defines the values your brand stands for and how this resonates with customers. Then there's the brand voice and personality. where you choose consistent tone and style. Colors can also be here. There's the visual identity, the role of logos, color, designing, brand recognition, and stuff like that. And there's the brand storytelling. Very important these days in marketing. Very, very important. Storytelling. Make sure people are hooked to the reason behind the reason behind the reason behind your product. And then there's the sales strategy. How do you want to close the sales? Remember what I said earlier? Sales is when money enters your bank account. Sales is not when you show your customers what you can provide or what you tell them who you are. That is marketing. Sales is when you've converted people to, or when you've converted people interested to people paying money. If not say people to money, please. All right. So now here we can talk about the sales funnel. There's the AIDA process. AIDA process is awareness, interest, decision, and action. How do you want to take people through all of this? How do you want to make them aware? How do you want to build their interest? How do you want to make them make a decision? How do you want to make them make action of paying? And then there's the lead generation. How do you want to bring in new customers? Basically, awareness and things like that. And then there's a customer relations management. When you have a customer or a prospective customer, how do you relate with those customers? How do you what is the process like? What do you want to make the customers feel? Do you want to make them feel loved? Do you want to make them feel manly? Exactly, you have to explain all those things there. And then there's the upselling and cross-selling. These two things are very, very different, right? So you have to really understand the difference between the two of them. Techniques to increase purchase value and customer retention. There's upselling, there's cross-selling. All right. So let's go over to the next one, aka pricing strategy. Now, when you have a new business, right? Let's say you start making this pen, you make this pen, and you want to start selling this pen. You want to market the pen, you want to sell the pen. What do you price the pen for? This is what we are doing right here. All right. So pricing strategy describes how you set the price and attract customers while ensuring profitability. Profitability in business is basically equal to sustainability. Now there's the cost plus pricing where you measure the costs and then you add something and then you basically set the margin and you price it based on that cost plus the margin. There's the competitive pricing where you price like your competitors, but maybe a little lower, a little just there, a little just right, so that people would maybe say, "Oh, this your pricing is good, let me buy." Right? Maybe your thing is cheap, let me buy. And then there's the value-based pricing where you place a premium. Maybe you're selling luxury, and then you now price based on that. So now there's the discount or promotions where the strategic discount to drive sales, clear inventories, and attract new customers, right? Like clearance sales, um, Black Friday sales, Christmas sales, etc., etc., etc. So these are discounts and promotion pricing. For the next one, there's the growth strategy. Now, here you have to discuss ways to expand your business and attract more customers and increase market share. How do you want to grow your business? How do you want to enter new markets? What are the strategies? What are the step-by-step process you want to engage in to you says I'm just saying step by step because some people are very ambiguous when creating business plan. They say we will we how do you want to do it? How? That is the essence of a business plan. States how you want to get what you want to get done. State it there. That is a business plan. Now, market penetration, where you expand within the existing market and improve offering for customer reach. That is one way. Then there's the product development, there's the market expansion, and then there's the diversification. There are many, many other ways, and then you can come up with very innovative ways to have growth strategy for your business. These are just four of many, and then yeah, basically these are just four of many. Now there is the performance appraisal strategy. As a good business person, learn how to tell your staff well done. Appraise them properly and give them good compensation for appraisals. Now, how do you appraise them? Set KPIs, key performance indicators, so that even them will know that they are wrong when they are wrong. They have to be clear. That has to be very, very clearly stated, right? And then there's the employee appraisal. This one is usually done by HR. And please, there should be reward or the opposite of reward for appraisers. If somebody does good, give the person a good reward. If the person does bad, then you can probably give a punishment for that. Then there's the customer feedback, right? Customer feedback, leverage customer insight and continuous improvement. And then there's customers improvement, where you encourage a culture that value feedback and adapt strategies accordingly. Now, there is the management and operations. So operations generally concern standard operating procedures and risk mitigating strategies. Standard operating procedures, why do you need to put that in your business plan? Well, it's actually important because you need to be able to tell investors or banks that you have mastered the process of producing your product. I need to tell them, oh, this is how I produce this product, or this is what this person does. This is how it flows. This person goes to here, this person does this, goes to here, this person does this. We all deliver in a timely fashion. Basically, that is what standard operating procedures tell you. It's many a times it's like a whole big file document on its own. Sometimes it can even be up to 100 pages. It's some very big corporations where they have very different departments and how they link to each other. Yeah, standard operating procedures can actually be that big and gruesome. This chapter meant to explain in detail the qualification of each management staff, their relationship to the industry and the company, and why investors should entrust them with their monies. Now, many a times here, when investors actually give companies money, they don't necessarily give the companies money, they give the management the money, because many a times they trust the manager more than even the product. Let's say for instance, someone like Elon Musk now. We know that he has started so many successful businesses. Imagine if he comes up and says, "Oh, I want to start producing pen, but I need money for the pen." People will throw money at that guy, not because he's producing pen, but because it's Elon Musk. Exactly. The fact that somebody in your management team have shown track record of success time and time again, leverage on that. Make sure you explain that, right? Now, there's the operation strategy, where every procedure that it takes to deliver the service and product the business or produce the product should be outlined in details. The operations risk and mitigating factors should also be stated clearly. HSE, that's health, safety, and environmental factors should also be stated clearly. Be very expressive in your operation strategy so that it will be certain that your operations will not tank, basically. Now, establishing boardroom roles. I know that some people want to wait until HR comes in. However, it is important that you establish boardroom roles from the beginning, where you talk about the executive directors, non-executive directors, the managers, the advisory board, and potential external consultants that will be in the company. Please, you see that subscribe button there? Is it a subscribe button? Oh, your subscribe button on that language. Many mistake. Please subscribe. Please subscribe to this channel. Let's carry on, please. Team building strategy, succession plan strategy, and human resource plan. These three strategies may be combined in one. Yes, it's possible to combine them in one place. And then they together talk about strategies to help developmental teams, how to develop teams, development should be built, outline outlines to outline staff and how to ensure that every role is easily replaced in case of vacancy. Yeah, a business is a business. Yes, it is. In fact, it should even state clearly how the business would replace you if something happens to you. Yeah, business succession plan, um, hiring plan, firing plan, everything should be there, right? Why you should appraise your staff and give them good rewards, you should always let them also know that the hammer is there just in case. Yeah. Now for the numbers. Well, I'm a numbers guy and I'm a finance expert as well. So let's go over to the numbers. Let's talk numbers. Let's talk numbers, please. All right. If you are not subscribed to this channel and you have gotten to this point, please let me ask you: is it fair? Is it fair? Is it you talk through? Is it fair? Yeah, subscribe. Please subscribe. Subscribe. If I offended you in any way, I'm sorry. Just subscribe. Thank you. All right. So now let us now go over to the financial model structure. Now there's a visual aid And then there's the input, calculations, and output. Now, the visual aid, I usually advise people make sure your visuals are dynamic. Your dashboard should be very dynamic and should summarize the basic and most important things like your net present value, your investment need, your discounted internal rate of return, and then charts and graphs that are also dynamic. All right. Now, your model assumptions always indicate when and where a figure is assumed. If you assume inflation rates, state it. Leave a note to the source of your assumption. Make sure it's from a credible source, like maybe Bloomsburg, Yahoo Finance, etc. Right? And make sure it is there. Explain why the assumption was made if a study was done. Cite the study. If possible, put the link in the Excel sheet so that people that are reading the model will click on it. And as much as possible, do not assume, except where absolutely necessary. If possible, go to the markets. Remember, I told you that you should know your markets. Know the markets. Know the markets figures. Know what they are selling for. Know the exact amount you want to sell for. Know the exact cost of your operations so that you can model properly, right? All right. Let's go back to the next one, financial analysis. Develop the financial statements of the company. Use the financial statement to get the business net present value, discounted net interest, internal rate of return, the weighted average cost of capital, and enterprise value of the business. Always cross-check your formulas. If possible, leave notes of the formulas you used. Now, if you use the formula, like for instance, weighted average cost of capital, if possible, put the formula beside the box in the cell. That's the cell. Put the formula there, right? For the NPV, you should always cross-check your formulas. Always cross-check your formulas. Always do that, right? Always cross-check which cell each of the formula is referring to. Always do that because you don't want to really get into trouble. Trust me. You don't want to give wrong figures. It's just spoil your rep, basically. Don't do that. Now there's a financial ratio analysis, and these are just a few financial ratio that you should look at for when doing your model. For instance, there are the liquidity ratios, such as the quick ratios, the current ratio, etc. There's a profitability ratio, like your profitability margin, your EBITDA margin, etc. There's the efficiency ratios, also called activity ratios. The leverage ratios, such as your solvency ratios on your debts to equity, debts to asset, etc., etc. Then there's the valuation ratios. I believe these okay. There's the market performance ratios. There's the operating cash flow ratios to let people know that your cash flow is safe and green, or red and not safe. Where it is red and not safe, there you can now explain that okay, this is why I need the debts, or this is why I need the equity, right? And then there's the free cash flow to equity, and then there's the retention ratio. This usually includes how much dividends you are giving out and how much you're putting back into the company. So these are for the financial analysis, right? Financial analysis. I have an intent of actually teaching financial modeling on my channel. Hopefully, it's going to come out soon. But I think I'm going to actually do the dashboard thing first before the financial ratio thing, because dashboard is something that people actually don't really understand. Financial ratios is a bit more complicated, so I don't take my time on that, right? Yeah, take my time on that. But for the dashboard, it's some of them are pretty simple, some of them are pretty not simple. But well, in all, hopefully, I'm going to get something across. Yeah. So I believe this is somewhere close to the end, or if this is the end. And if you want to connect with me, my name is Allwell Ihejirika. This is how it is spelled. Just go to LinkedIn, connect with me there, and send me a connection request. Hopefully, I will accept a connection request. I usually accept connection requests. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to this channel. I've been saying it since the beginning of this thing. Okay, not really the beginning, but almost the beginning. You have gotten to here and you've not. Why? Why? Did I offend you? Subscribe. All right, thank you very much. This is the end of this roadshow, and thank you for staying to the end. As I said earlier, there are some things that are going to be sorry if that was far off. As I said earlier, there are some things that are going to be in links below down there. So just go there and look for this slide and a couple other links that I'll hopefully provide there. I think I'll also leave a link to my LinkedIn profile there so that you can also just click and connect with me on LinkedIn directly. Um, I believe I also leave a link to my Upwork account so that if you want to consult me or you want to see some business plans, pitch deck, and financial models I've done in the past, you can look at them there. Everything is basically just open, and you can contact me through LinkedIn. I usually respond to messages. Take care of yourself, subscribe to the channel, and God bless you in your entrepreneurship journey. I hope that you succeed, and I hope that you make a lot of money. Money, 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 money. Take care.